At some point, I told myself I had a choice. I had a choice to spend the next 10 years grieving, or I had the choice to walk the path of healing. I had driven up to Rio Doso. That was like his favorite spot. I have so many pictures growing up. We were out there fishing, and his favorite casino is Inn of the Mountain Gods. And a few months before he passed away, it's crazy because we had taken a trip up there, and we were passing the hotel, and he tells me, when I die, make sure you put my ashes in a machine. Like in a
slot machine.
In a slot machine. And I'm like, oh, Grandpa, I don't think you can do that.
I would do it.
That's a little weird.
I would drive up and just.
And he's like, no, like just when I die, just go in there and just open my jar and just throw me in the casino. And I'm like, dude, that's weird. Like people are gonna be like, bro, you just threw ashes on my machine. When everything happened, I had driven up there and I had taken like a picture of me and him, one of my favorite pictures. And I burned it and I let it go over the lake.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, and when I let it go, I kind of like talked, and I told him like, it's not your ashes in a casino machine, but you're here. You're back here. Like we're here together.
That's making me emotional. That's crazy.
Like, and that was like my consolation of like, okay, you're choosing this path of healing. Like this is it. Like you drove all the way out here. You're doing this because you're going to heal. There's no going back after this. Like, you're not going to be trapped by grief. Like, you're going to see, you're going to heal and you're going to get over it. And I even told him, when I had done that, I told him, like, this isn't me forgetting you. I'm not forgetting you. I feel like, especially in our culture, it's like if you heal, you're forgetting. You're forgetting your tío, you're forgetting your tía. Like, and it's like, no, like, I'm not forgetting you. So I had told him, like, you know what, I'm not forgetting you, but I need to move on.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to life. Like I need to move on. Like stay with me, but like I'm not gonna let you hinder me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like life goes on.
He would have wanted you to do that.
Do you think the fact that
Oh man.
I'm a big believer that that in this world the things that we really truly leave behind is like the memories. Like we live on through like people's memories of each other. You know what I mean? So like if I die or whatever, like Oscar and Irvin are gonna remember me. And I think what's so beautiful about it is that everybody builds relationships with different people, and so in a way you kind of have like this unique, memories of your grandpa. You know what I mean? Like it's like your own little piece of him that nobody could take away from you. So I think that's like how we live. Whenever we pass away, I think that we basically live through everybody else because everybody else interacted with you.
Yeah.
Like you interacted with your grandfather in ways that maybe some people didn't. Mm-hmm. So like that's yours. Like no one could take that away from you. So do you think that has something to do with like how you were able to move on?
Yeah, I think so. Like when everything happened, and I would talk to my grandma, and I would tell her like about these moments and these memories I had. She was always thrown off by them because she's like, he was not an emotional man. But with me, like, he would get so emotional. We'd have, like, these deep talks, and we would really connect. And, even if he saw me crying, like, he would start crying. And he would tell me, like, it's because it hurts me to see you crying. And I feel like that connection, like, that bond that we had really helped me. It's reassured me that it was okay to move forward. Awesome. Like, it reassured me that it's okay. Like, you're not forgetting me. Like, let me rest.
I think that's, you said it, our culture, that's something that we need to bring back. In our generation, El Día de los Muertos, where you put out a picture of this person and you put something that they liked leaving when they were alive. I think that's something that we need to bring back in our culture because
and it's been like probably the lowest point of my health.
Okay.
The lowest point of my health
how
ever
how
in
have
my
you
life.
felt though? How have you felt?
Chronic fatigue.
Chronic fatigue.
Like really tired all the time. I have a lot of anxiety. I don't have anxiety. Like naturally, like I don't have anxiety. That's not how I am. Yeah. But lately, like I've had a lot of anxiety.
Do you mind sharing what's
I'm not. I don't mind sharing it. No, I'm very open about this. Like, I was discussing just how anxious I am to get my implants out because I'm getting my implants removed in the next few months. My surgery's already booked. It's not going to be here in El Paso. It's out of town. But I'm getting my implants removed. It's just been a huge health issue for me. So my implants have really made me sick, and I've just been getting like worse. So that for me right now in my life has been the
hardest thing.
Oh my God, it's been like the hardest thing.
Is this common for people? Like, is this
not everybody? Not everybody.
I've heard of it happening.
So your
before.
body's like rejecting them.
Basically, your body's rejecting it. So it depends on your immune system. It depends on a lot of factors. It depends on your genetics, all these different things. But my immune system is so like low and weak right now that it's just like my body's like, what the fuck are these things and why are they here? So it's causing me other issues because they're trying to fight, what's in my body.
Right.
Yeah, that's fucking
you hear
crazy.
it happen
so
a lot of
crazy.
like organ transplants or skin grafts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
sometimes
the
your body
body
does
You hear about a lot of
body's like,
things.
nope, this is not
Yep.
Even
ours.
dental implants.
Yeah.
Dental implants, IUDs, so like the birth control, when women have babies and they want the birth control, they put the little like, it's like that, it's like a T.
Right.
And
IUD.
the IUD, anything like metal that's put in your body.
Yep.
So then your
will
body's
mess with
basically
you.
having
A reaction.
kinda to it.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And that's affecting other aspects of your
Oh
health.
yeah, big time.
Okay.
I've
So-
never felt like this before.
in what
ever
way
in
or
my life.
what,
Chronic
like-
fatigue.
Okay.
I'm in pain. Like my breasts are really like they hurt. Like
Yeah.
for real. Like
Yeah.
if you guys want to know,
Yeah.
like that's part of the issue.
So they're-
I don't feel like myself.
Your
you know what I
cells are
mean?
basically being attacked by your immune
I think
system.
so. Yeah, my body's fucking attacking itself. Yeah,
Fucking-
like
Yeah.
I get sick like that. Like every single month, I've been getting sick since
Yeah.
like last August. I'm gonna
Okay.
say every month
And
I've been getting sick.
Is the process that simple to just take them out, or is there some
You
type
have
of
to
immunity
you have
therapy
to
or something?
find a good surgeon who specializes in explant surgery.
Okay.
Implants are when you get the implants put in.
Right.
Explant is when you get the breast
'Cause you're-
implants
You're fucking
out.
with the muscle tissue at this point as
Depending
well,
on
right?
how you have the implants in, if you have them over the muscle, under the muscle,
How did
which
you
I have
get 'em?
under the muscle. So mine are really stuck to my ribs. They're gonna have to scrape my fucking ribs.
Ay,
Yeah.
Because it
pinche
heals,
madre.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
'Cause doesn't it like
Hijo de la
heal?
chingada.
Basically, heals over it, right? Or
It
something
heals
like that?
over it, and then your body forms a capsule around the
Yeah.
implant.
Oh, like, oh, you
Like
way.
calcified.
Calcifies with the,
Yep.
oh shit, was it
Yeah,
pinche
so you have to
madre?
find a really, really good surgeon. So once you check that off,
Man,
then you
yeah.
know you reach out to them or several of them
Yeah.
wherever you can find one, because we have a bunch throughout the United States. So you find one, you ask questions, you get the prices, you have a consultation, make sure that you feel comfortable with that surgeon.
Yeah.
Once you do that, then you can either pay for it or start making payments or do like if you want to do a credit card, whatever. I'm doing cash. Like I don't want to be in debt over this.
Nah,
so every
fuck
month
with-
I make payments. Every month I
Yeah.
make payments.
good.
And it's not fucking cheap. And that's what I want to make I want to make people very aware. So when you get implants in, they're about $5,000 to $6,000, okay? Maybe $5,000 to $6,000. When you get your implants out, get this. They could be about $15,000,
Oh, shit.
$20,000, $25,000.
Do you know why
It's a
it's so
pinche
much more
madre.
Yes,
expensive?
because
It's
it's
a
you
serious
need to do
procedure.
it right. It's a very serious procedure.
Okay.
You have to get the capsule around the implant out at the same time.
Right.
It cannot be left in because guess what? You will still be sick.
Yeah.
Because all that dead cell is still like.
I mean, I don't
it'll
know
still be
what
fucking-
it's dead or
yeah.
alive or what the fuck, but I mean, it needs to come out.
It
And
just
then,
need it
like
out.
I said, like the implants, if you have them under the muscle like me, they
Yeah.
could be like on your ribs. You could have mold in there that you don't even know about. I
Yeah.
might have mold in my body right now. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy,
Well,
yeah.
after they remove them, though,
Yes.
is there still continuous things you have to do afterwards?
So in that sense, depending on how fast you want to detox and how serious your illness is,
Yeah.
how many years you've had the illness, how many months, depends on your body. It depends on your immune system. Sometimes you just let your body take its natural course. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or
Some
there's some
antibiotics or
girls.
something?
No, not that, because that's gonna fuck you up even more. So antibiotics mess with your gut health and they mess with a lot of
okay.
things.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you have to be careful with that. But I'm gonna say very simple things. Maybe doing like an infrared sauna. It's different from a regular sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Infrared saunas help detox you heavy metals, right?
Okay.
So maybe do the sauna
Yeah.
every week,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
What material is the implant made? Is it silicone?
Oh my gosh, dude! It's a huge list of.
It's a bunch of stuff.
It's a huge list.
Because they
like,
make it seem so
whole
simple.
periodic
no,
table.
it's right for real. It's like. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just 3 ingredients. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
toxic.
Sugar, spice, and everything.
It's a
nice.
toxic chemical
Yeah.
soup.
Are you
that's
gonna keep
in-
them?
Am I gonna keep them?
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
in a jar?
They give them to me. They give them to me,
Do
so
it.
I might keep them. I don't know what
You
I'll
can
do
even
with
use
them.
it like in a public speaking. You can use it.
Dude,
also
like
put-
whip
A
them out.
visual aid?
That's shocking.
They're like in a bag. When I went to the
¿Qué
Walmart,
huele?
it's fucking
huele?
dripping and shit.
your meal prep.
All right, let's go
Let's
back
get down to the nitty gritty.
We have some meals here.
Yeah, I brought you guys some meals.
Fuck yeah! I love chicken, dude. I can eat chicken every fucking day, and I don't get tired of it.
We go to you. We don't charge any delivery or anything like that.
Wow.
Awesome,
We don't care how far it is. We will take it to you guys.
awesome. Look at that.
Oh, dude, that's good.
That smells delicious.
Yo, that's good, bro.
Jesus Christ, that is.
Enjoy.
The meatballs and pasta is fucking phenomenal. Holy shit.
Hey, my brother Andrew, man.
Tu
that guy-
carnal he has a good hand for food.
Thank you.
Wow. Meatballs are juicy.
This carnita is delicious.
Do you want some of your own meals?
No, I'm good. You know.
And everything's measured out.
Yes, sir. So that's That's a half a cup of rice right there.
Half a cup.
Yeah. And
With 6 ounces or 4 ounces of steak.
that's 4 ounces.
4 ounces of chicken as well.
Ooh, that's nice.
Dude, this chicken is not dry.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
the main,
perfect.
That's the
rare.
main goal.
Oh my God, yes. Dry chicken is my enemy.
These some bomb ass meatballs, dude.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I think the meatballs were my favorite.
Let me try this pollito. Okay, get the fork. Whose fork is that? Are we switching forks? Too?
Oh, I don't know.
just pass it
I just realized that I had a fork for Mike, and he was not even.
No, you're good. You're good.
How much do your meal prep runs for? How do you guys sell it?
Okay, so we do the 5 or 35, and then the 10 for 70. And then, like I said, there's no delivery charge. We take it to you guys, so you guys don't have to go out your way. We'll take it to your work. We'll take it to your grandma's house. I don't care. We'll take it wherever. And then the single meal $7. And you think about it, people, well, that's expensive. Well, you know what, man?
A Whataburger meal is like around the same.
Yeah, and you're eating shit.
Way shittier.
You're eating
stuff.
shit, man. You're eating garbage.
Well, I don't know if you guys mind if I take this to Melissa. I want her to try it.
Fuck you. I'm gonna eat that shit.
Hey, that chicken's
Sorry.
fucking saucy.
Right?
It's good. It's juicy.
Yeah.
You finished the fuck out of those meatballs, huh?
Look at that guy.
That's because it was mealtime already.
I think those meatballs were my favorite. They were good.
Meatballs.
My fat ass though was thinking about putting them in a sandwich, so I was like, let me get those meatballs.
For me, it was meatballs, then the chicken, then the steak.
I think same. The steak was really good too.
The only reason why is because I don't digest steak that well.
Okay.
That's why I kind of I try and shy away from it.
Yeah.
Cause then I'm tapado for like a week or two.
You know what I liked about the steak though? That it has like a little bit of fat.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
yeah.
gives it a little bit of flavor.
That's what you need, dude. Because I feel like in a lot of these like
Or if it's dry.
healthy,
If it's too lean,
it's too lean, you know, and you're like, tan saborcito.
yeah,
You
them tal
want some of
sazón.
that?
Tiene que tener caché.
What an interesting topic, huh?
Young
Let's
adults.
study human behavior.
No, really, yeah.
Like, let's
I
study
mean,
the way humans behave and their actions and their tendencies.
Don't say like you don't do that on your own.
No, but that's
like
every
at
day. I'd be
parties.
like, let's learn like
Towards the end of my partying, I would do that a lot. I would like just sit
study
back
people?
and watch everyone like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all just a mating. It's just like cockatoos just and then the female approaches and you can like do discovery channel narratives behind it like here comes the
I don't know, but I think it was just
approaching
me.
the female.
It was just me and my high brain. I was just really stoned, and I just wanted to believe that I was like really fucking intuitive. But I was just really
I've
like,
I've had those moments.
Yeah.
You're just there like super big.
but I'm just in
like,
the back like this.
You're just like, whoa.
That was a badass bird sound.
I'm just in the back like this. So,
Sound fun.
do you feel like you got your implants to make a bigger stride in the fitness industry? Is that why you got them, or
I always
was it-
wanted them since
you
I was
always
little.
wanted them?
Since I
Okay.
was little, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I hate having little boobs. Like I want my.
I was about to
want
say
big
that.
So it
boobs.
wasn't
But how did
even-
you
Since I
know
was little.
about that, or who told you about that?
Because you fucking see magazines, you see
Yeah. So you-
actresses.
No,
you
but
see-
honey-
okay, so girls have it so much more difficult in the sense of beauty, in the
Fuck
sense of
yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
We have it really,
100%.
really, really hard. So you know about things
yeah.
from a young age. So
Okay.
you know, I knew about like breast implants, and I was like, I really want them. Like, I want to have big boobs. So ever since I was a little girl, maybe I just thought ahead. I always
Maybe.
wanted to be older than what I was. I always hung out with older people. I was ahead
yeah. Okay.
of my age. Yeah, I would just see actresses and models, and I wanted to have boobs. And I told myself one day I will get them done. And for sure, like when I was at Sick Fuck, I said I'm gonna get my boobs done one day.
Damn.
And I got them
you
done.
go.
And guess what? I'm sick now. So fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
like-
my mom went through the same thing.
Really?
She got, I mean, well,
Oh,
not
hers,
exactly the
yeah,
same
hers
thing.
were bad, huh?
No, her, she had the same like idea, like, oh, I want to have big boobs.
Right,
But
right.
she waited till she was like 45 or whatever. So maybe for her it was a little easier because I mean, I guess they've already like sagged a little bit, so it was like.
She has all
I
that
mean,
extra skin.
I'm not
she can
talking
put
shit
it
about
in.
my mom.
No.
So like.
From what I hear,
She has all this
so
extra
it
skin
was
she could
nice.
put
It's
him
not
in.
necessarily that. It's your immune system to begin with.
Oh no, but I mean like no, she didn't
From
have
what
any.
I understand.
She didn't have any issue with the
Right,
implants.
I
So for her,
understand.
it was a good experience for her. She
I'm
was happy
glad,
with
that's
it.
great.
She was good with it. But
Yeah.
going back to that, the whole like I wanted to have big boobs. I wondered if it's similar to guys because for us, dick size is like.
Yeah.
The most important thing,
yeah, the biggest.
regardless,
No, I understand.
like regardless of
I
whether
understand.
you have a good sized penis or whatever. But like growing up, I don't know if it's pornography or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're just always like unsatisfied with your penis. You're like, oh man, I wish it was
Yeah,
big.
I think that
wish it was-"
definitely has an effect on it for sure. I think for sure,
Yeah.
like porn will definitely make a guy
Askew.
think about his like dick size, and he might think also like how he treats a girl in bed,
Yeah,
how
definitely.
he thinks
It will
girls want to be treated in
skew
bed.
your mind of
It
how-
fucks
yeah.
with you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really bad
See,
in
like,
that sense.
for me,
so I
I'm-
get it. I
I'm
get
ver-
what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that my girlfriend, like,
great.
I don't worry about my penis size or anything like that. So
Good.
I was lucky enough at a young age to find a person who gave me that confidence and security,
Aw.
right? So, but I can.
That's so sweet. Like, no, I'm serious. That's
No,
so
but
sweet.
thank you. I just,
Yeah, we
but-
cuddle up and cry afterwards.
this is the process of the podcast. You can join us afterwards if you like to cry. Just kidding. No, but I can imagine another person who wasn't lucky enough like me, and maybe they have a good sized penis or whatever, but they happen to go with the wrong person, or something happened and
could
someone
be a
talked
lot of
shit
things.
and it was like, oh, he had a little dick or he couldn't
That could have an
and that's
effect on
traumatic.
that.
Like for a
I
person,
bet.
like your whole life you probably go thinking no matter whatever happens, no matter how many compliments you get afterwards, you're always gonna be like,
Yeah, it might mess with you. And if
Yeah.
there was ever a thing where, like, I mean, there's the things such as Viagra, but like, let's just say there was a permanent solution to like increase your dick size. Like,
Yeah.
imagine there was like a pill that
penis pump.
like, but like forever. Like, you have a
Oh.
huge ass dick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when it does its job, it's
Yeah.
like bigger than what it is right now. I'm sure you guys maybe would be like, yeah, I'll take that pill, and it has no like health effects that you know of. You're like,
God
yeah, I'll
damn.
probably do
I
it.
think
And
it's-
so,
I get what you're
but I
saying.
could get what you're saying as far as that goes. But I think girls have it way harder when it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah,
to like
fuck yeah.
looks and beauty
yeah.
and
So
stuff
I
like
think
that.
I mean, for you, like, it's not like someone's gonna be when you're young, like, oh, I love the size of your boobs, like they're perfect. You know what I mean? Is
People
it-
did tell me that.
and it still affected you.
Still affected me because
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing, like even now to this day, like I still get like DMs. Like yesterday, so many DMs, people saying like, "Well, I love the way you look before your boobs" or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Thank
But
yeah."
it
And then one guy was like, "I hope it wasn't a guy that made you get your boobs." I'm like, first of all,
It
like,
wasn't you, bitch.
no, it was like, no. I told the guy, "Thank you for being sweet, but I
Yeah.
do whatever the fuck I want."
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah, yeah.
told me to
Yeah, yeah,
get my boobs done. It was
Yeah.
my choice, my decision, and I did not do my research. So guess what?
Yeah.
I'm paying the price now.
So what do you think was the biggest influence that made you have that idea in your mind?
She
like,
was
I need
young.
to.
She
was
said
it
it.
like you were
She
seeing
wanted
magazines or
I
something?
just wanted big boobs. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like a woman. I
Oh,
felt
that's
like a
okay.
little girl.
That's what my old lady
I
tells
felt
me.
like a little girl. Yeah, I
That's
felt
why
like
my
a
old
little
lady
girl.
tells me that. She just feels like she's still a little girl because
Yeah.
she doesn't have the big boobs.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's
even
listen,
then,
I don't think it's the same.
even
for,
then,
for
I
the way
wouldn't
guys
care.
compare our physiques to the way girls compare
It's
to each other,
different.
it's completely different. Because
Oh.
even if I see a dude with a huge hog, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I could do. No, like you know what I mean? Like it's more like if I see Oscar and I was like, oh, he's got some pretty big arms. Like, man, maybe I could get a little bit of big arms. To me, that's what it is.
It's just your own like how
I think it
confident
was
you are and
how confident you are,
Yeah.
how you were brought up.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
parents make a huge have a huge effect on that for
Definitely,
the most part.
100%,
But
yeah.
I think it's just you as a
You wanted
person.
it, yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's girls I
Wanted it.
know with like little boobs and they're so happy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're like, no, I'm
It's 'cause
good.
girls
Like
are
blah blah.
bitches.
Girls are
Yeah.
bitches. Well, it has nothing to do with them like in their boob size though.
no. I'm saying like to each other.
Oh, to each other. I was like, well, we're all
No, no,
bitches
no.
in our own way, guys or girls. But
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah,
could
we're
be
pretty much
that.
bitches.
But I mean, the thing is, like, who you surround yourself with is really important. So if you're a
Definitely.
girl and you're around bitches like mean
Yeah, yeah.
girls, you're gonna have a different view of yourself,
True,
and you're
true.
gonna want, I don't know, different things than like myself. I have a very healthy relationship with my friends.
Yeah.
Very small circle, so there's that too. I don't have anybody putting me down.
That's
I
good.
think it stems down to your self-confidence. So I'm gonna say maybe I wasn't as confident when I had smaller boobs
Yeah.
because I didn't feel very feminine. Besides implants, there's also like fat transfers. So I think that's a lot more safe and natural.
Okay.
You
So
can do
what's
that?
gonna I am gonna do that. So what's gonna happen is my surgeon, who is his name's Dr. Spivak. He has an Instagram page called Sculpt at Sculpt with the Q.
Okay.
So Sculpt is located in Beverly Hills. Now they
Damn.
they specialize in breast explant surgery, breast detox, and fat transfer.
Fat
So they do not do anything silicone related. They're a silicone free environment. So what's gonna happen with me is in a few months I'm gonna go and I will be awake during this procedure. They will take out fat from my stomach here and my sides, and they're gonna put it into my boobs all over on both titties, and then they're gonna roll me into a room, and then they're gonna put me to sleep,
Yeah,
and then they're gonna remove my implants.
Interesting. So
Yes.
How does that work? I know because all I'm picturing is like, sweet. I'm gonna go eat some butter bars and.
That's true.
No,
was
I mean
gonna ask
I
you.
You know,
am because
yeah,
I have been gaining a little bit of weight, but since I have the Arnold in a couple weeks, I'm gonna like do a little bit more cardio so I don't look that bad. Because when you go to the Arnold and those expos, it's no fucking joke. You can't be looking like bad. You can't be looking fat from a fitness model
Standpoint.
standpoint.
Yeah,
You can't look
definitely.
bad. You have to feel good and
Yeah.
be ready for pictures, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, do a little bit more cardio. But about 6 to 8 weeks out from my surgery, I will gain more weight. And
Yeah.
the only place I gain it, to be honest, guys, is like my stomach. My arms, no, my legs, like I
What
don't.
percentage?
It's just,
It works out,
percentage
it's
do
not
you
a
have to
percentage
have
thing. It's
the
not a
mass?
percentage thing. It's just gain like 5 to 7 pounds
Yeah.
or 5 to 10 pounds over your weight, and it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
help. Because for me, I don't have a lot of fat. I really don't. So my surgeon told me, like, 6 to 8 weeks out, gain some weight,
So
gain
what
a
are you
little bit
gonna
more
eat?
weight.
Yeah, there
I
you
know,
go.
huh?
Do you have like a
It's
list?
just more calories. It's
Yeah,
not
but
So,
list of,
so
like,
you're just gonna
No,
increase
it's
what
just-
you already eat, like
Yeah.
just more tofu and more.
Oh, okay.
just more of everything and a little bit less cardio.
Okay.
Ah,
more
Like right now,
more
I'm gonna
carbs.
up my cardio. More carbs, more everything. More fats, carbs,
Delicious.
protein. Yeah, everything.
Carbs, all the carbs.
I think that's a
Yeah,
smart way
but I
'cause
already
lot of
eat a lot of.
papas.
I already eat a lot of carbs.
What are
That's
your-
a, that's a
favorite
smart thing
carb?
though, because you don't want to eat a bunch
My
of
favorite?
crap.
Favorite carb?
My favorite carb right now of this moment is probably the chickpea pasta
Chickpea pasta.
from Eat Nourish.
Eat Nourish.
Shout
hey, shout out.
To think about the future. And my dad, honestly, now too, he's my best fucking friend. Like
It's hard in a Hispanic in like Hispanic household for you to gain that relationship with your father. It's hard. It took me a while.
to be honest, I wasn't the best fucking person to be around, especially because when I was drinking, I was fucking mean. I was mean to everybody. I didn't give a fuck.
That's past you, man. That's past.
And now that I'm sober minded, like fuck, me and my dad are the best fucking friends. I'll wake up and I'll give him a fucking hug. That's awesome.
Damn, that's beautiful.
I don't give a shit, and he'll just like,
Yeah. He's gonna squeeze you like that at the beginning.
Like,
but
no.
but my dad, I started giving him kisses and like hugging him and be like, "Calma la puto, you're gonna get this love whether you want it or not."
That's exactly what I tell him. I go, I do not give a shit. I am gonna give you a
Yeah,
hug right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
and,
fuck
and he'll be like, okay, yeah, Michael, yeah, and he'll get really upset and like, no, come here, I don't care. You get
What do you think that is? Like it's
It's
just
a man thing, like
the culture.
Yeah, the
It's
culture.
like,
dude.
nah, I'm not
Yeah,
supposed to
that's all it is.
show affection.
People,
like, I'm supposed
people
to show
could be
strength
watching.
and-
Yeah.
or then I go, Dad, I love you. Dad, I love you. Dad, Michael, I love you. Okay, Dad, I love you. Like fucking
Say it back.
say it back, please.
Second book, I talk about that. I talk about my grandpa's death. I talk about my sexual assault that happened in 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it
okay.
happened
So when
after
you
high school.
graduated, okay. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Let's just take it one step at a time.
What? Okay.
Okay,
So we were talking about you had an incident at 20. What was it?
2016.
2016. So in 2016, what happened?
It was actually the week after I graduated. We didn't go to school together, but
Okay.
me and him were actually really close. We used to gym together.
Okay.
We played like the same sports in high school, so we would always go to the gym. Like we were pretty close. He just got really drunk. Not an excuse,
Yeah.
but things happened,
Okay.
escalated,
Yeah.
and
But it was unwanted on your end.
yeah. I kept saying no, but it just kind of happened. Yeah.
Fuck. And then what happened after that? I mean, were you able to talk to him? Did he talk to you, or he just kind of left?
Well, after that, I kind of like went MIA. I kind of fell off the face for a
Yeah.
little bit. I was trying to like
Process it. and
process,
shit?
yeah, what really happened. I ran into him at EP Fitness. Reason I don't go to that gym. I ran into him and he just kind of like snarked at me. It was just like a weird interaction. So then after that, I had messaged him like on Instagram, and he was just like, no, like you wanted it, and like, yeah, like
shit.
he was just very like condescending about it. So I just completely blocked him on everything. I felt like after that had happened, I felt like dirty. Like
Yeah.
I was really stripped from like my womanhood.
Yeah, like
You
your
know
what I mean?
childhood
Like-
innocence also maybe.
Yeah, like, and it was just like, oh, like this sucks. That was also like the first time I had been with like a guy.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
asshole.
it sucked. It really
Fucking
did suck.
asshole.
I was like, wow.
If you're watching this, you're a piece of shit. You don't do that,
He
man.
is,
You
he is,
just
yeah.
I had to go to jury duty, and the case was sexual assault. During the selection process, how they ask a lot of questions, and one of the questions that the lawyers asked was, "Do any of you have family, or do any of you know anybody who has had sexual assault?" And it's surprising the number of people that raise their hand. You're like, damn, really? Like that much? All these people either know of somebody or have been. So it's surprising to see how common it is.
Yeah, it's actually really common. When it happened, I felt like it was still kind of like under the rug. So I didn't really, I didn't talk about it. I've never really shared anything about it until like maybe the last year. It's happening so often, like it needs to be known that this is what's going on.
Man, I just think that's stupid. and idiotic for a man to feel like they're on the green light once they're drunk. And
I was having like these crazy anxiety attacks. One time I had like this really bad anxiety attack. I had to be rushed to the ER, and my parents were just kind of like, at that point they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" That's when I like came out to them about it. I was like, I've been struggling with this since I've graduated. I'm just trying to manage through it. I just don't know how. Like, and my parents just wanted to go like full on, like, let's press charges, like let's take him to court, like like.
So it just kind of like festered inside of you, and
it just literally really like made like its own home.
Do you think you were trying to suppress?
I was,
initially?
and I was like, no, like this never happened, like or I would question myself, like, did I want it to happen? Like maybe it's what I was wearing that day, or maybe I shouldn't have worn like those shorts.
That's pretty much
like even when I had spoken to my mom about it, I told her like, well, maybe it's what I was wearing. Maybe I shouldn't have worn those shorts, or maybe I shouldn't have worn like the tank top with the baseball jersey. Like maybe it's like maybe I came off too like flirtatious, or maybe I should have just like stepped away, or like
that's crazy
maybe
you
they're
have
just
those thoughts.
Yeah, like, and my mom was the one. She's a psychology major, so she's like, no, like it wasn't your fault. Like it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter where you wear. It doesn't matter anything. Like a man shouldn't have taken control of you like that.
Yeah.
Like you have a say. I was like, okay, like, but I did struggle with those thoughts for like a really long time. I tried getting out of the car. He locked the door.
Oh my, that's...
Yeah, like it was like a whole like...
Yeah, like consent can be withdrawn at any moment during the sexual act. And if you say no, that's already, you're denying consent, and that's already in breach of the law.
My parents wanted to. They wanted to like just go full
press
on.
charges,
like, yeah, they wanted to press charges and everything. I told them I didn't want to because I didn't want to go through that. And a lot of people, when I have, mentioned it to like friends, or like when I've talked about it openly, people have told me like, no, well, you need to like make a stand. And, and I completely understand that. But for me, myself, I felt like I was able to heal and get over it myself. I didn't want to have to go through sitting in a court and facing it and facing him and having to relive those moments that I didn't want to.
I think the reason people will try and push you to maybe do something is just to protect other people from it happening to them. You know what I mean? Like this guy needs to be taken off the streets or be taught a lesson or something like that.
At this point, I feel like you already moved on.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't really have a say in your life and what you do and who your partners are, and if it's gonna affect you with that partner. Like he doesn't have a say in that anymore. He doesn't live in your mind anymore at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like that's why I'm so open with it. It's because I feel like I've really healed from it.
Yeah,
and I've really moved forward past that, and it no longer. I'm no longer a victim to it.
Yeah,
he no longer controls me, and I don't have. I feel because even after something happens to you, if you continue to like live by that trauma, it's like you're giving that person that control.
Yeah, definitely.
And he controlled me for like a really long time. So now that I'm able to like talk about it and even write about it, in my second book, when I wrote about it, it was one of those things where I had to resurface it. I cried for like a week and then I went back to the book, like.
But now it's on paper, So now that thought and that emotion is on paper, is written down. So it gets to live in the book, It gets to live in there.
No longer
doesn't live in your head anymore.
Was that in itself a form of therapy, writing about it?
It was actually. That second book, it helps me a lot. I mean, that second book really impacted me. Like I talked about stuff and I wrote about stuff that I had never talked about. That was kind of like, I like to say it was like boxes packed in my attic.
Yeah.
I kind of threw them up there. When I had to write that book, I kind of had to go up there and unpack them.
Yeah.
And go box by box by box and really dig into what I was feeling and, I had to really take myself back to those moments to be able to write about it.
But you already cleaned these boxes out.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
threw
my
some of that
attic
shit
is
out. And
nice and polished
good.
now.
Good.
Did you
swept it up,
Did you know you wanted to talk about this before you came in? Is this something you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, no, but I had planned for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, man, like if they ask me questions, like I'm just gonna be like raw to my audience, like.
When you walked in here, like you had a mission.
You're on a mission.
I was on a
no
mission.
kidding.
Yeah, like we need to shake hands. She was like, I'm fucking ready. Let's
I'm
do
not
this.
gonna lie. I was getting into like a wrestling stand. I was like, órale pues, get down.
Like, okay, are you a little more relaxed?
Yeah, more
Okay.
relaxed. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
But thank you for sharing. Big question.
I don't like
Jovi.
that shit.
What
Good.
are your opinions? Why do you think people cheat?
I think because Oh man, that's a really really tough one.
Like on your taxes?
Here's
or-
one of
That's
like here's one of the toughest things in a relationship. Maybe they're not feeling emotionally like supported. Maybe
Yeah.
that they just don't feel the love like they want to. Maybe they don't feel like, I'm gonna be honest, like I used to be really bad with certain things, but it was more like I would cling to a person because of the way that they talked to me. They would tell me sweet things. You know what I mean? More that than anything.
Yeah.
I was so young and I would just listen to what guys had to tell me. And I just loved like the attention from them and then them telling me sweet things. So from my perspective, I would say that's a huge thing. Another thing is like people want their cake and they want to eat it. They want to have their cake and eat it too,
Right.
especially like a lot of males. Like
Yeah.
they will be married and they'll cheat. Why? Because they want to come home to something, but they want to go have their fun.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I've talked to people who have been through those issues. That's why I say that, because I've heard that time and time again.
If Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, anything can
We're
happen.
not safe. No one's safe. I think that girls look at guys, guys look at girls. I think that we're human and we can appreciate a beautiful person or a nice physique. Like we're attracted to people. Like Eddie and I are very attracted to one another. Like I think he's gorgeous. He thinks I'm beautiful.
Yes.
But we're going to appreciate other human beings. I'm gonna see a certain person, a guy who I think has a fucking badass body. But guess what? It doesn't go beyond that. It's just like
Yeah.
I
Right,
appreciate that person, and that's where you draw the
You know,
line. That's it matters how you talk to a person. So like if you see a guy you think he's hot, he comes up to you and he starts talking to you. Well, that's
now it
not.
changes
a
That's
little bit,
something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or vice versa. If Eddie's somewhere and a girl talks to him who if he finds attractive and he
Yeah.
lets that go on, that's something totally
Oh,
different.
yeah.
You know what I
Fuck
mean?
yeah.
So
Tell me-
nothing wrong with appreciating a person's physique
Yeah.
or face or whatever the fuck. Like
Yeah.
it's just normal. It's just how it is.
At least for me, the immediate reaction is sexual. It's like you see a nice butt and you're like, wow, that's
That's a nice
hot.
ass.
And
Yeah.
you get like
It's like-
sexual thoughts, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, for me.
For a
that's what I'm
guy,
saying. Yeah,
for
for
a
guys
guy,
generally.
yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I have a very open communication
Nice.
relationship, and I ask her, I'm like, do you feel the same things when you see a very hot guy? And she's like, no. She's like, I see a very attractive guy, and I appreciate him for his beauty, for his. Goddamn, the guy is lucky to have those genes.
Yeah.
He has a ripped body. He has this and all that. And then I feel like that's where men can get confused and become jealous because you feel like your female partner sees the same thing you see when you see a woman.
Okay,
and
I
it's
get what
sexual.
you're saying.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Like, there are girls out there that are crazy. Like they love, like they're crazy as far as like their sex life goes.
Yeah.
So there's girls I know, I know personally that like, let's say they go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
This is like gonna sound really inappropriate, so hopefully my dad's not watching. Or my
bulge,
mom.
it's okay.
But yeah, they could say that. But there could be a girl that's like pretty out there with her sexuality, and she sees a hot guy, and what she says is, I want to sit on his face.
Yeah.
I want to sit on his face. That's not something that a lot of girls say.
Right.
It depends on the person. That's why I continue to say that every person's so
Yeah.
different. There's girls
I
that
think
are
that's why-
very high
yeah.
sex drive, and they might just want to fuck every guy,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is. Now there might be some girls that are a little bit more controlled with that, and they don't think that way.
Right.
Okay. There might be some guys that when they see a girl, they think a lot of sexual thoughts, maybe a little bit too much, especially if they're married or in a
Yeah.
relationship. And there's other guys that can see a girl, they think she's hot, and they're like, wow, I appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna move on with my day.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's
Yeah.
so different. You know
That's
what I
why
mean?
I wanted to talk to you about the whole cheating thing because I'm like, do you think being a cheater is like, well, once you're a cheater, you're a cheater. But if you you're this person who, yes, I see a woman and I'm like, that's a really nice butt. I appreciate it. But that's not the type of person I am. So therefore, it doesn't really matter. These are just feelings I get that are out of my control. But I'm not the type of person who cheats.
You don't act on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a person that struggles with cheating, it's up to them if they want to change that. So they
Yeah.
might work on it for the next few years. Let's say they say to themselves, I'm not going to be in a relationship with anybody because I am a cheater and I need to work on that. If
Yeah.
I want a serious relationship with somebody. So maybe they take the time, maybe they read books, maybe they go to therapy, and it turns out something happened in their childhood that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe their dad beat the mom and cheated on her, and that's what that person saw, male or female, and they think, or they just act that way because that's what they were surrounded themselves, or that's what they were surrounded with at such a young age that they don't even know why they're cheaters. I used to think that people couldn't change. Now I think differently. Now I think that if you want to change your
Yeah.
whatever trait it is that you have that's negative,
Yeah.
you can change it. It's just going to take a lot of work. If you are 25 years old, if you are 35 years old, and you've been acting this way for 35 years,
Yeah.
it's going to take years for you to get that trauma
Reverse
out of the way,
35
talk
years,
about it,
yeah.
get therapy,
Yeah.
have counseling, read books, and be very open-minded to change that.
Yeah.
But then what if there's also the situation where you cannot trace back There's nothing.
You can.
This
I
person,
think you can. I
this
think if
person
you
had
go to
a
a
perfect life. Nothing
there's
happened
no
to
such
him.
thing.
We get
There's
back to
no
that
such
with
thing.
Cali.
I don't know
disagree.
about perfect life. Let's say that this person didn't have traumas. He had a good life. He had a good upbringing.
Then that's the problem right there.
But wait. And he just likes to cheat. He loves women. He loves sex. And he tries to be married, but he just likes to cheat.
It's a hormone thing.
And-
Then maybe
and
it's
then
his hormones.
hormones.
He's crazy
You could call
like
it
that.
hormone, you know, but-
He's not meant to be in a relationship. Polygamous.
If you feel like
relationship.
cheating, just jerk off, and if you still feel like cheating, then maybe you are a cheater.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, get rid of that nut.
For real, trust me.
I'm
Get
just,
rid of
all
that
I'm
nut.
saying is that
Trust me.
Derek Jeter, that's
Right.
great.
Yeah.
And I'm a Yankee fan.
Okay.
That guy just seems like a badass.
He's
dude.
your favorite, A-Rod?
Well, he's even more my favorite because he's dating J-Lo.
Exactly, I was about to say, he's
Dang.
fucking plowing J-Lo on the
Jesus
daily, dude.
Christ.
You
On
know
the
that
daily.
motherfucker. You know that motherfucker gives it to her good, or else because she tried it with Drake, and she was like, you know
Did
what?
he?
No, she was with Drake.
I think so.
What?
I mean, she's been okay.
looks
I
like
don't
she
want to.
smells
I don't
nice.
want to say things.
looks
but
like she
looks
smells nice.
You know, Drake knows how to please a woman based on his music.
How do you know?
Based
Dude,
off
have
of
you not
music?
heard
Based off his
jams?
music, he's always crying like, "Please take
Every
me back."
R&B
Like,
singer knows how to fuck. That's a fact.
what about
Because
Tyrese?
they're like Trey Songz, Tyrese, all those guys know how to do it. So
Cisco?
the fact that Drake wasn't able to please J-Lo like A-Rod
Dong?
did, that just shows you A-Rod knows
I
what
don't
the
think
fuck
any
he's
guy
doing.
knows how to fuck.
Like, I don't know, dude. I don't think they fuck the way they sing.
You
I
don't think so?
Nah.
What a disappointment then. Like if Trey Songz
Maybe
is
John
singing you
Legend.
that song,
I feel like John Legend.
John Legend gives it to, what's her name?
I don't like
Fucking-
John Legend, bro.
You don't like
Gianna?
him?
Oh
No,
shit!
man.
Tell us why.
No, I just don't like that guy. I just don't think he's a good guy.
Dude,
Dude, he was
Yeah,
on
there you
Sesame
go.
Street, man.
Fuck
I
Sesame
don't give a
Street.
fuck where he was on.
He was sitting next to an
Owl
owl.
on Sesame Street.
What?
It's like me with Taylor Swift.
I mean, pretty much
I
anybody.
want
from
to
Sesame
fucking
Street.
hit her in the forehead with my shin.
No, and
Yeah.
Like, "Waka-ka!"
Taylor Swift.
hard.
I feel like
Or like with this, like on the
Hey,
temple.
hey, we were watching your.
Usually how it would go, you know, like I'd be like, "Oh, Grandpa, I'm going through a hard time." He'd be like, "Bring me a mango."
No
you know,
way.
Like, oh, weird,
That was a
yeah.
tradition?
And I'd be like, "Okay, dude." He's like, "Come on, like, you know, sit down. Like, you know, we can share this mango together, and you can tell me, you know, what you're going through." So in the poem, I do talk about like his rough, callous hands because he was a worker, he was a mechanic. So they were always really rough, very like dirty. I talk about that, and you know, I say like, you know, as we eat this mango together, something in those lines, you know, like we're talking, and then there's a space, and it says, "Now I sit here alone, you know, eating the mango."
Oh, you still do that
You know,
sometimes?
yeah,
Yeah.
like when I'm going through a hard time, I
Yeah.
just go buy like a
Just
bag
go
of
buy a
mango.
mango.
You know, like get some tahini. And
Damn, you took it to the next level.
I was like, "Grandpa, you don't even know what this is all about."
He didn't like the tajin stuff?
No, he would just eat it like that, like
Así
all
le
weird, you
manguito.
know. I was like,
Like,
okay.
where's the lemon and the tahini and
That's so
Like-
interesting that he. I wonder what his train of thought was. when
it
he
was
doing it.
it's just like, let's go get some ice cream kind of deal. like,
Yeah.
but his was mango.
Mango, yeah. He would say that life is never too bad when it's giving us mangoes.
Okay, because as you're telling him this wrong or this bad situation, he's like, well, I mean, right now we have this sweet piece of life right here.
Yeah.
This
you
is
know,
what
and,
life has to offer for you.
And at the time, like when I was young, I would think he was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, dude, like I'm telling you like these huge issues and you're going to compare it to a fucking mango, you know, like what the hell?
I think.
But now as an adult, I'm like, wow, like he was literally just trying to show me like it's the little things.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was about
You
to
know what
say.
I mean?
Life is simple.
Like it's the little things,
Appreciate the
relax,
little
you know,
things.
like
And I think that's a balance you have to find when you're an ambitious person and you have these goals that you want to reach, because you're so focused on the end goal, and it's like, no, I just got to keep working,
Yeah.
keep going, and it's easy to forget about the little mangoes, you know, in life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you're
I-
just
I
focused.
definitely feel that. Like I would go like 200 miles an hour and then burn myself out.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, man, like, and then that's when I would feel like those feelings of failure and disappointment.
Mm.
And they would come down on me so hard because I felt like I was really trying.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like I've kind of hit the brakes and know like, okay, like this is what I want, but let's take it like step by step.
Get little wins.
You know what I mean?
Get the
like
little wins.
we're
Yep.
still on the highway, but let's stop and pick
Yeah.
some fruit real quick. You
Let's
know, like
get a
Let's
mango.
talk about the phone thing. Like, you've been through that. Is that something that?
Sort of. You have to learn how to communicate. So what I do now, like with Eddie, is because here's the thing with my job, because it's an
Yeah.
actual job, I get paid for it with the expands. Like I have to post at certain times of the day. At those times of the day, I have to post. So when I'm doing that, before I do, it, I say, "Hey, baby, I'm about to post. Like, just give me
Communicate.
1 second."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, it's fine." Before
Yeah.
I would just be like,
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I need.
He felt like I ignored him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And before I didn't get that, I was like, what do you mean I'm not
Yeah.
ignoring you? But it's like, now I need to
Yeah.
respect how you're feeling.
That's awesome.
And
let
like,
you know what I'm
and you
doing.
That's
learn,
awesome.
you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think that's been like, oh my gosh, that's been an amazing thing to accomplish, like communication now.
Yeah.
And he told me, you know, recently, he's like, I really appreciate you doing
Yeah.
that. Like, it shows me that you really are more aware and that you care about
Yeah.
how, you know, I feel about those
Yeah.
things. So, and it's
That's
the same
awesome.
thing with me too. But you know, it's funny because like, I don't know, like, us girls in general, like we're such fucking brats, dude. Like, like you guys do one
Yeah.
thing one time, we're like, why are you doing that? Blah. And then they do something like, or we do something all the time, and they take it. Like the guys
Yeah.
take
Right.
it.
Because you
But
girls,
we
listen,
do. But you guys do one
you girls
thing.
have
and
way
we're just
better
like,
memory than we do.
But
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
I
keep
give
tabs.
I give you all.
You guys keep files. Like,
Oh yeah,
You go-
in here.
in 20, do you remember in 2009?
I'm like, oh
we
shit.
were in high school.
even know what the
are
fuck
you
talking
talking about? We were different.
How do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
And how
No,
did you
but-
forget to
totally
feed the
agree.
dog the other day?
Like I give my girlfriend a lot of leeway
Grief.
because I understand that you all go through way more emotions than we do.
Oh my gosh.
So
yes.
it's like
Being a woman
it's okay.
is more
Like-
difficult than being a man.
Okay, you're feeling
100%.
something right now, and it's fine.
Yeah, you guys are more
100%.
simple for
Dude, you
sure.
would say 100%.
My dad worked a lot, so I was with my sister and my mom a lot. So I heard a lot of the stuff that they went through,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of their
Yes.
their issues and everything. And
Yeah.
then I don't know, I hung out with a lot of girls in school as well, so I heard a lot of their issues and all
Yeah.
of that. And I'm like, fuck, like I don't go through none of that. Like,
No, you don't.
For me, it's just
so much.
I can pee wherever I want,
Yeah.
and I can pretty
pee wherever
and
I
I can
want.
pretty much.
Well, you
I
shouldn't.
can pee
It's a big
wherever I
deal.
I can pretty much.
He's reading right now,
I
look
can
at-
pretty much work a shitty
Look at
job
him go.
and still make it. Like
You mean theoretically?
that's pretty much it.
Because in
That's
terms of a
pinpointed.
relationship, I think that's huge. Being aware of how you're acting and your emotions. That way you can.
That's been a challenge.
Yeah.
But that's been time.
But that's all
been
women, though.
time.
I think. I think that's a challenge with all women.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And
Maybe.